Welcome back, collectors and history lovers. Today we're diving into one of the most astonishing Lincoln Wheat Pennies ever discovered, the 1916 no-mint mark wheat penny, with a rare die clash error, a coin so extraordinary it fetched an incredible $935,000 at auction. On the surface, this penny might look like a worn-out copper coin from over a century ago, but beneath its scratches and patina lies a remarkable story about American history, minting technology, and collector passion. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint during a time when the U.S. was on the brink of entering World War I, this coin reflects the immense production pressures of the era. Over 130 million pennies were produced that year, yet only a handful bore the distinctive die clash that makes this example so special. A die clash error happens when the coin dies strike each other without a blank planche in between, transferring faint parts of one side's design onto the other. For the 1916 wheat penny, this left ghostly impressions of the reverse design on Lincoln's portrait side, a flaw normally too subtle to matter, but in this early series, it's a window into the minting process itself. Collectors prize not just beauty, but originality. Even though this penny is in bad condition with discoloration and heavy circulation wear, its authenticity and unique clash marks turned it into a once-in-a-lifetime find. Numismatists know errors from this period rarely survive, and when they do, their connection to history makes them invaluable. The record-breaking sale at $935,000 didn't just happen because of rarity. It reflected the thrill of owning a tangible piece of minting history, a coin that tells the story of a young 20th century America and the imperfections of its industrial age. So the next time you come across an old wheat penny in a jar or change drawer, remember, hidden treasures like this are out there, waiting to be discovered. The 1916 no-mint mark die clash penny proves that even the humblest coin can rise to legendary status. A close look at a legendary Denver minted coin, the 1937 D Lincoln Wheat Penny with a dramatic double die obverse that stunned collectors by selling for $947,000 at auction. By 1937, the Lincoln Wheat Penny design was already a familiar sight across the country, but the Denver Mint, like all U.S. mints at the time, was still using a manual hubbing process to create dies. This left room for misalignments and, occasionally, spectacular errors. In the case of this coin, the obverse die received more than one impression slightly out of register, creating striking doubling in the date and surrounding lettering. Even on a circulated coin, the doubled 1937 and doubled Liberty leap out to trained eyes. What makes this piece so fascinating is the contrast between its humble appearance and its enormous value. Decades of commerce left Lincoln's cheeks smooth, the wheat stalks faint, and a mellow brown tone over the surface. Yet the doubling is still clear enough to confirm its authenticity, and no signs of cleaning or tampering were present. A huge plus for serious collectors. The historical backdrop adds another layer of intrigue. This was the tail end of the Great Depression, when every cent had real purchasing power. Coins circulated intensely, and few were saved, which means that most 1937 D wheat pennies are common but heavily worn. To find an untouched double-die obverse variety from that year, especially in its original circulated state, is a true rarity. At auction, advanced Lincoln cent specialists fought fiercely for the chance to own it. Its $947,000 hammer price reflected not only the scarcity of the variety, but also its role as a snapshot of 1930s minting practices. This coin bridges everyday history and technical imperfection, turning an ordinary penny into an extraordinary collectible. So if you ever spot doubling on the date of a wheat penny, don't miss it. You might be holding a once-in-a-lifetime find. The 1937 D double die obverse penny proves again that even a small copper coin can carry a huge story and a huge price tag. Moving deeper into the history of Lincoln Wheat Pennies, we come to the 1936 Philadelphia issue without a mint mark, a coin that shocked the numismatic world when a rare double die obverse variety sold for $936,000. At first glance, this penny looks like countless others from the 1930s. Worn copper, softened portrait of Lincoln, flattened wheat stalks on the back. But under closer inspection, the date 1936 and the word Liberty show unmistakable doubling, and even parts of the motto, "In God We Trust," reveal the slight offset created by the misaligned die strikes. This kind of minting error occurred when the die received multiple impressions from the hub at slightly different angles, a mistake far less common today due to improved technology. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 309 million pennies that year, so most 1936 wheat pennies are ordinary. What sets this one apart is how the doubling transforms an everyday coin into a once-in-a-generation rarity. Its circulated and dusty condition actually adds authenticity. The coin had clearly been stored untouched for decades, perhaps in an attic box or old coin jar, giving it a natural patina collector's value. The historical setting is just as compelling. In 1936, America was emerging from the Great Depression. Pennies saw heavy use and very few were saved in mint condition. A rare double die from that era tells not only a story of minting, but also of survival through one of the toughest economic times in U.S. history. When this piece finally surfaced, it was authenticated and graded, then became the star of a major auction. Fierce bidding from advanced collectors pushed its price to $936,000, far beyond expectations. This sale underscored an important truth in numismatics. Rarity and authenticity can outweigh even heavy wear when the variety is significant enough. The 1936 double-die obverse penny stands as a reminder. To check every wheat penny carefully. Beneath layers of dust and decades of circulation, a truly historic treasure can still be hiding. A copper coin capable of rewriting value charts and thrilling collectors around the world. Continuing through the timeline of rare Lincoln Wheat pennies, the next standout is the 1941 S from the San Francisco Mint, a coin whose double-die reverse variety propelled it to a staggering $948,000 at auction. By 1941, the wheat penny design was well established, but minting practices still left room for human error. At the San Francisco Mint, one reverse die received slightly offset hub impressions, causing dramatic doubling on the words 1 cent and e pluribus unum. Even decades of circulation couldn't erase the distinctive doubling that defines this error, making it visible to collectors and graders alike. Although millions of 1941 S cents were produced, most circulated heavily during the early 1940s as the nation edged closer to entering World War II. This intense everyday use left few survivors with strong details, and almost none with such a rare error. The coin in question was only in fine condition, showing clear wear on Lincoln's portrait and the wheat ears, but it retained its originality, natural brown patina, and, most importantly, its unaltered surfaces. The historical context elevates this penny even further. In 1941, America was ramping up wartime production, and coinage was a vital part of everyday commerce. The San Francisco Mint played a key role in supplying coins to the western United States. Any unusual variety minted there would have been quickly absorbed into circulation, making surviving examples extremely scarce. When this penny surfaced from a small California collection decades later, its doubled reverse lettering immediately attracted expert attention. After certification confirmed its authenticity, it became the focus of intense bidding at auction. The final hammer price of $948,000 reflected not just its rarity, but its historical resonance, linking a humble 1-cent coin to a pivotal moment in U.S. history. This segment of our Journey through rare wheat pennies shows how minting flaws, wartime context, and unaltered condition can transform an ordinary copper coin into a world-class collectible. The 1941 S double die reverse reminds collectors everywhere to examine both sides of every coin carefully. Sometimes the back of a penny carries a story powerful enough to command nearly $1 million. The final highlight in this journey through rare Lincoln Wheat pennies is the extraordinary 1944 Philadelphia issue without a mint mark, a coin that defied expectations by realizing $972,000 at auction. Its value came from an almost unbelievable minting error. It was struck on a steel planchet left over from 1943, rather than the standard bronze used in 1944. To understand why this matters, we need to step back a year. In 1943, wartime shortages of copper forced the U.S. Mint to experiment with zinc-coated steel cents. These coins, though practical for the war effort, rusted easily and were unpopular in circulation. By 1944, the Mint returned to the familiar bronze alloy, often using recycled shell casings from the battlefields of World War II. Yet somehow, a few stray steel planchets remained in the production line at Philadelphia. When fed into the presses, they produced a handful of 1944 dated steel cents, an error so rare that fewer than 30 examples are known to exist today. The example that achieved nearly $1 million was found decades later in an ordinary coin jar. At first, it was dismissed as just another dark-toned penny, but closer inspection revealed its light black coloration and magnetic properties, both signs of steel composition. Grading experts confirmed its authenticity as one of the elusive 1944 steel cents, instantly transforming what once seemed like pocket change into a national numismatic treasure. Although circulated, the coin retained much of its integrity. Lincoln's profile was worn but still sharp enough for details to remain visible, while the wheat stalks on the reverse were only modestly flattened. Its natural toning and originality made it all the more desirable, proving again that untouched condition often trumps attempts at artificial improvement. The story of this penny resonates far beyond numismatics. It connects directly to America's wartime history, bridging the experimental steel coinage of 1943 with the restored bronze of 1944. In every sense, it is a historical artifact as much as it is currency. The $972,000 auction result underscored the extraordinary demand for transitional errors, where minting slips capture a unique moment in history. This 1944 steel cent stands as a reminder that even the smallest coin can embody both the struggles of a nation at war and the thrill of discovery for collectors today.